Buenos dias, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you are all ready for a great start to your day. I am Jamie Irvin. We are going to start off with taking care of these Mancini numbers, but I wanted to at least get on record, on file, the um, the way we go about coming up with the numbers to go from ES to convert to SPX. So Mancini does ES. So what we do is, or what I do, I'm not sure how everybody else does it, but the idea is to take the close of the previous day and we put that number in a calculator. And I don't know why I can't scroll all of a sudden. And we put that in the calculator. And then, so this is today's 4-3. So yesterday, and I'm looking up here in the corner. I'm on Thinkorswim. Look up here in the corner, and you can see the times. So at 4-2 for yesterday, going back to close of that's 4-1. Going back to the close of yesterday. So, or you can do so at 4 p.m. The opening candle would be 52.61. So that is essentially what at 4 p.m. yesterday. So let's do 52.61. Where's my calculator? 52.61, right? And then we go to SPX and look at the close for SPX on yesterday. And it doesn't matter what chart. I got it on 30 minutes. It doesn't matter what chart because I'm looking for a specific number. So we can say opening for at 4 o'clock, or last candle 3:30. If you want to do the daily chart, it doesn't really matter. The number that you're looking for though is where it closed. And so up here, as of right now, it's probably going to be 52.05. But usually I'll go onto the candle just to see, just to be on the safe side. Sometimes there might be fluctuations depending on the broker. So the close for yesterday was now it doesn't want to show it to me. So it must be 52.05. Okay. So 52.61 is ES 52.05. Subtract that. Back up. 52.61 is ES minus 52.05. So 56. So that's how we get our 56. All right. So again, the number that Mancini gives us, these numbers that he gives us, we convert to from ES /ES is how I usually find it. We convert that to SPX by subtracting the differences between the closes. Okay, 52.61, and then the other one for today, or sorry, for yesterday, one was 52.61, the other was 52.05. The difference between those two is 56, and that's the number that we're using to subtract from these Mancini numbers. So everything from here on out in terms of getting that information is going to be 56. So 52.43 minus 56. 43 minus 56. What is that? 51.87. So that's how we are breaking down those numbers. 51.87. Right? So we just keep doing that for all the numbers to convert them, and we take it from there. So I won't bore you with all of this right now. We'll come back to it, but I at least want to get it started to give you an idea of what exactly we are doing when we are crunching those numbers. We're literally just trying to make sure we get the right amount and the right conversion in order for us to know what our numbers are on SPX. All right. And then from there, people break it down all in different ways. You can do SPY from those numbers. There's the bell. You can do SPY from those numbers and on, so forth. But we'll come back to this. I just want to at least show you at the beginning what we're doing to convert those numbers and why we do it that way. He trades on ES and we trade on SPX. All right. So this is Adam Mancini on Twitter. That's where I'm getting that from. All right. So let's start off with or continue on with what happened. Asia was all down last reported. ASX 200 was down 1.34%. So that happened. Nikkei was down 97% or 0.97%. Kospi, Korea was down 1.68%, which was the most out of the group. The HSI is Hong Kong, 1.22%. They were down, and Shanghai was down 0.18%. Asia track Wall Street. Asian markets track Wall Street declines. Electric vehicle shares drop on demand worries. Yeah, that's been happening for a while. Stuff has been changing. Over in Europe, DAX was up 0.16%. FTSE was down 0.36%. CAC was up 0.12%. CAC, I believe, is France. I'm sorry, no, that might be Germany. FTSE MIB is FTSE Milano. They were down 0.03%, and then Stock 600 down 0.05%. So the European markets are mixed as caution returns. Eurozone inflation data surprises. All right. Now, obviously, we're at the bell now. The main thing over here is the VIX. So the VIX has been creeping up. And as we discussed in the past, when the VIX starts going up, we normally will see a downward movement in the stocks and vice versa. When the VIX is pointing down, normally it's not uncommon to see the inverse happening, with the stocks generally speaking trending up if it's pointing down. So according to this, S&P 500 futures inch lower amid tough start to new quarter. But as of right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up slightly, 0.03%, but the S&P 500 is down 0.11%, and NASDAQ is down 0.42%, with Russell 2K being down the most at 1.80%. So that is what's happening. This is the futures that they was talking about. Down 0.14% for the Dow futures, S&P futures down 0.28%, and Nas futures down 0.45%. Okay, so that's what's happening right now. Good morning, Adrian Dupree, Janae, Lady T, and good morning, Marsha Dawson. All right, righty. Okay, so let us mosey on over here to. I usually like to do Forex calendar first. Orange folder today. OPEC JMMC meetings. OPEC is the oil. All of the folks running the oil game. So that's all day today. That's what's happening. I did not see too much else, but we are very likely to see any type of level of changes happening. So let's go over here to this filter and see what else is going down on Forex Factory. Okay, here we go. So, oops, this is the wrong one. Sorry. It's March 3. All right. So we got the OPEC meetings, orange folder. We've got the ADP non-farm employment change, which just came in as good for the economy. FOMC member Bostic speaks at 8:30. 9:45 we have, and that's a yellow folder. The red folder was a non-employment change, non-farm employment change. The orange folder, final services PMI at 9:45. FOMC member Bowman speaks also then as a yellow folder. The ISM services PMI at 10 o'clock is a red folder. We got crude oil inventories, yellow folder at 10:30. Fed Chair Powell is speaking at 12:10 p.m. That is a red folder. So be warned. Okay, 1:10 p.m. FOMC member Barr speaks, yellow folder, and at 4:30 FOMC member Kugler speaks, yellow folder. All right, so Romy Rome is stepping up to the plate. He gonna have something to say, and I'm very sure the market is going to respond in kind, because that's what it does. So, as of this morning, we had Ford, and that was Forex Factory. This one is investing.com, and 5:15 was a 2-star OPEC meeting. 7 o'clock was the 1-star MBA 30-year mortgage rate, and also the mortgage applications week over week. That was at 7 o'clock, both 1 stars. And they also had the purchase index happening at that time too, MBA. The mortgage market index also, all this was at 7 o'clock. The mortgage refinance index as well. All of those were 1 stars. OPEC was the only 2-star at 5 o'clock this morning, 5:15. ADP non-farm employment change March is 3 stars. Okay, believe that was a red photo over there. FOMC member Bowman speaks over here is 2 stars. So at 8:15, we is the non-farm already happened. 9:45, member Bowman, 2 stars. 9:45 also is the global composite PMI for March. 3 stars though is S&P Global Services PMI. That was at 9:45 still. At 10 o'clock, we got the ISM non-manufacturing business activity for March. We also have their non-manufacturing employment. The first one was 1 star. The second one is 2 stars. We got the non-manufacturing new orders for March, 1 star. ISM non-manufacturing PMI for March. That's 3 stars. And also the other 3 stars is their non-manufacturing prices. All this is happening at 10. Total vehicle sales is 1 star. 3 star is crude oil inventories. That's at 10:30 now. We crossed into 10:30. EIA refinery crude runs week over week. The crude oil imports and the Cushing crude oil inventories. So the first 2 are 1 star. This one is a 2 star. And 10:30 has also the distillate fuel production, the EIA weekly distillate stocks, gasoline production, and heating oil stockpiles, all at 10:30 still. And then the EIA weekly refinery utilization rates week over week, gasoline inventories. So we got all that happening all the way through to 10:30. Then Goolsby speaks, Fed Goolsby speaks, 12 o'clock, 1 star. Powell speaks, 3 stars. That's at 12:10. And then at 1:10, that's when Barr speaks. Fred, Vice Chair for Supervision, Barr speaks, and they have that as a 2 star at 1:10. So we got some stuff sprinkled throughout the day. No doubt about that. All right. This is the old Mancini that I have to get switched around. I was looking to see if our Alyssa was going to be on the call, but I don't see her. So here's what we're doing. All right, so we're going to switch on over to our SPX, and we're going to go to the 15-minute, and we are going to mark our starting 15-minute for those who may trade the breakout. We're going to put some lines on here. If anybody has any tickers, anything they want looked at, what we're looking at right now is the Thinkorswim version of the chart. And we are setting these lines for our 15-minute breakout. We'll be checking to see if you have any any tickers while we're watching for Adam Mancini and make sure we got everybody. So these are going to be our breakout lines, and we'll make these work. And we mark the breakout lines just so we have an idea of what's happening in the first 15 minutes, because different people trade different strategies. This is what happened yesterday. Once it opened, it dropped, retested that line. It finally came through and then closed on a high note. So right now, when it opened not far from where it closed. And now this is the activity that we have. Drop and then boom, went up. So yesterday's close was 52.05. Today's open is 51.94. So that means it came down here and then immediately pushed its way back up. So we will be keeping an eye on that. All right. That's the activity happening. Okay. Now, let's go back and take a look at we'll do Mancini first, and then we'll do the earnings and see what earnings are left. Which earnings seems like it's about to wind down anyway. So, all right. So we're saying 56. Target off here. So we're doing 52.42. And we're going to run the same play over and over. So just so you know, got a calculator up here. Minus 56. And that will be 51.86. All right. 51.86, 52.43. All right. So we're going to do this. And yes, this is the boring part. Nobody's dancing. Nobody's moonwalking right now. I see ELF. Good morning, Tamar. I see ELF as a ticker. Anybody has anything else? We will get to that one very, very, very shortly. I got 51.86 here as a conversion. Hola. I was just asking about you, Miss Pinkleton. I thought you were gonna, in case you want to talk about the kickoff. I was gonna make sure we got that in. Let you do your thing while I take care of the Adam Mancini numbers. 56. No more people yawning on the call. You know what I'm saying? Lady T. All right. So this is 51.89. Oh, she said she was dragging some algebra students through the ringer. I was once an algebra student, and I was once drugged through the ringer. And I questioned whether or not I was drugged while I was going through there. So yeah, I understand. I understand the student side, and I understand the professor side. All right, we're almost done with this. 41.76. So once we start reading these and putting them together, hopefully you'll be able to catch on to it. And honestly, I'm not a avid Twitter person. And so what ends up happening is each day when I go in, I don't always get the I don't always get the Twitter updates as soon as the people put them out there. And I guess they got different subscription plans. It sounds like, so you'll be able to get it faster if you paying and all that other stuff. So that's my understanding. But I do know that I'll hit refresh for a whole hour and then it'll pop up whenever it pops up. So these are not things that we can do the night before unless we plan to go by whatever he posted the previous night. And he does a pretty solid job of updating So even if we do the numbers the night before, they could change the next day. So this is how we do our workaround. So we try to get it in as soon as we get the numbers. 5232 minus 56 and 5176. All right, 5176. 51. It looks like our number of to be paying attention to is going to be 5176 from the way this looks. But so here's what I got. 5242. Yeah, it looks right. What I have is yesterday, the major sell target / bounce in SPX was 5187. This back test, let me scroll this over. Yes, this back tests March 20 FOMC breakout. Took all day, but we finally rallied to 5201. First target off it, still here. Plan today, 5186.89. Support, still. 5176 is underthrow. All right. Keep 5212, 5226. Major live, 5176. Fails. If it fails, it's a hard sell, meaning it'll keep dropping. So underthrow is what I refer to as a linchpin. He uses different phrases, but it's basically the point of no return. So 5176 is what we'll put on the chart. And matter of fact, I can just borrow it from here. So we'll do 5176 and just drop that in there. 5176. So this is the Mancini number. This is the number that I put on the chart and watch. Whoops, wrong one. I put this on the chart and watch this throughout the day to stay on top of, at least to the best of my ability, stay on top of where price is moving. All right. We'll do that. That's fine. And we'll do this one. What? Why does this keep doing that? Do that. 5176. Okay. So we know this is the point of new return. Let me put Mancini on there. Let's show label on. I guess on hover. Put this on the right side. All right. It's basically saying it'll do that. I don't know why this line keeps dropping like this. No matter what I do, this thing keeps doing the same thing. All right. Disobedient. Do it this way. See what happens. And then we're going to check our 15-minute setup to see how that's going. Then we're going to take a look at ELF, which is a competitor for what's the name of the other one people are always charting? I could totally see Sephora. Is it Sephora? Something like that is one of them. So here we go. This is retesting off of its close from yesterday. That's what's happening so far. Right? Dropped down, pushed up, and now it's pushing off of that 5205. So we will definitely be watching that as the day progresses. On the 15-minute chart, though, you can also see that there's a strong buyer zone down here. Okay. So there's at least one zone we know that is below, that is on the 15-minute chart, that is below where we are. And I'll just do that. All right. So at the very least, we got that going for us. So, but we'll come back and we'll take a look in a second. We want to switch and look at earnings. We got Before the market opened today, it was Acuity Brands, IceCure, and Biomex. After close, it's BlackBerry, Levi's, Simulations Plus, Sportsman's Warehouse, and RGP. I miss BlackBerry, man. I ain't gonna lie. I really miss them. My goodness. My favorite cell phone in the history of my life was this phone called the BlackBerry Pearl. Loved that phone. All right. Before open tomorrow, Lamb Weston, Conagra Simply Goods, Food Company Simply Good, Angiodynamics, Lindsay, RPM, Cold Plant Radius Recycling. After close on Thursday is Cura. Friday, opening Byrna and the Greenbrier Corporations. The Greenbrier Companies. Sorry. All right. So we have the ticker is rolling for the options 4116 week live coaching. We kicked off our first night, April 1st, and we were doing the sharing. You're sharing your why, and that was great. Great experience, and interesting to hear what everybody, what all of it, what their why was. So that was cool. All right. Ulta, that's the one that I was trying to remember. Ulta, thank you, Lady T. Michelle says she misses it too. Bet she's talking about the BlackBerry Pearl. BlackBerry Pearl. Alyssa says it comes out at 8. Yes, I know what time it comes out, but I don't always get the update. I have to keep hitting refresh. I'll actually literally be sitting in the post, like I'll be on his actual Twitter page, and it still won't refresh until a while later. Sometimes an hour, but that's the way the Twitterverse works. All right, let's take a look, see at ELF. And we're on the 15, so we're going to switch this to the monthly. Just going to take a look and see what it's doing overall. We'll do the top down, then we'll take a look and see what's going down in terms of opportunities to trade it. So this particular one, since I don't follow it at all, I'm gonna do it'll be some extra lines, but they're there so I can mark the zones because I don't look at it, so I don't really, I'd rather just be on the safe side and at least have an idea of where the zones would be. So this is a great buyer. This is a great seller zone on the monthly chart. Very strong leg out, so I would expect that it's pointing down when we get down into the chart. I personally would probably put both of these in the base to have that strong leg out right here, leg in, two in the base, leg out. If I did it this way, now you got a weaker leg out, based on the way it's charted. So I'll keep this up here. So include all of that in the zone. What I can say about this chart that's interesting is it's not a bunch of choppy lines going up. Sometimes even on the monthly, you'll see with some charts that it's not even like a clean straight up and down like this. It'll be like a bunch of these small ones, which is basically just meaning a lot of indecision in that stock. But those are some pretty strong lines. So this is on the weekly, and what I would do here is just put all of these in a chair formation. Leg in, 3 in the base, leg out. That's how I would do that. Right? Leg in, 3 in the base, leg out. Put it somewhere about right there. And go up here. Right? So you're still in the zone regardless. There's a couple different ways you can do this. So please don't think one way is more right than the other. Somebody else might do leg in, all of these in the base with this as a leg out, and encompass that whole the whole thing inside of here, this whole entire candle. I'm just doing the cheer because that's the first thing that I spotted. In terms of down here, what I see, I don't really see necessarily a buyer zone, but what I do see is it turned around here and it did it again right here on this price. So this was resistance and then it became support. That's what I call a parity line. I don't know what the technical name for it is, but that's the name that's the name it was referred to when I started learning about it. So, and then the fact that it's on this line helped me see that this is a cheer formation right here as well. So leg in, 3 in the base, leg out, right? And so this is so this line right here is marking it as a parity line. All right, this line right here is going to mark it as the buyer zone itself. All right, so when you mark it from the buyer zone, you can add, going from price heading this way. So it needs to lay on the body of that candle. But here's your leg in, 3 in the base, leg out on the weekly. Then the daily, look at the gaps in there. Wow. Okay, I hear you. I see more gaps than I see buyer zones, or zones in general. But what I see over here is this. Change these to green. All right. Do that. This is be green too. I'm only using this candle because moving it up here with, that smaller, it's still going to be a smaller leg out regardless. But it is in this zone currently. In this, what I would consider buy zone currently. And a matter of fact, I would just normally move it down a little bit more because there's other ones in this zone, other candles in the zone. So you want to make sure we encompass that as well. But I see gaps. Like here's one here. It was in a gap. Looks like when it gapped down. All right. So let's see, that was there. Then there's another one above it. All right. So let me break this down for what this means for us when we're trading. What I see is because this is sandwiched between two gaps, that means you have support up here. So this is a good buffer area. Let me rephrase the word good because this is not investment advice, but a good way to look at it, I would say, how I look at it is this is like a buffer area. So there may be some prices in here to do a call credit spread. Down here, you have this is in the zone. So I think that could very well just come down, continue coming down through here. I don't see like a clear buyer zone in here in this formation anywhere. Some people, are more comfortable kind of forcing the issue. So if that's your thing, what I see right here is a very small what could be a cheer formation. And the only reason I am looking at that is because, again, where the lines are crossing, and then this is where it bounced off this line over here anyway. But there would be one revisit right there. Low is 164. Low. 160.52. Okay. So that would be one revisit. All right. So it's just one revisit in that situation. If you're gonna do a buyer zone, I guess that would be the one. Otherwise, we drop it down here, but I don't see anything definitive on the way there. So we can do buyer zone that is in potential cheer right here. Otherwise, I'll be looking at the weekly buyer zone, which will be right here. But this dotted line, this is like a street. This dotted line is a weekly parity line, which is could be a turnaround point, and that's the line I would definitely be watching for right there. All right. I think I had a pearl, says Janae, the pearlish button in the middle. That was the one. That was the one. That was the one. Okay. That is it. All right. Alyssa, you can check your Telegram for the link. Do I see anything else in here? Okay, Ulta was the one that was answer to the question. GM. Yeah, I think it's the only one. That's the only ticker that I see that people dropped in there. So let's swing back over to SPX. So we can see what's going on with the S&P 500. All right, so it broke out and pushed up. Now, this is one of the past Mancini numbers, and this is where it gapped for. So gap here, and lady, what are you over there doing? So it gapped, and now it's working its way through this gap. That's what it's trying to do. Push on up. One thing I do need to do, forgot to do this. This is Elf again, and we were just talking about this is 15 minutes, so I'm gonna switch this to. It depends on how long you will want to be holding it. Before I say that, but this is what it looks like on the daily chart, right? So it's back in the zone. This is where it, was. This is turned around before. This was the support area before. So for those of you who may be considering a trade, of course, again, this is not investment advice. I'm just going according to what our numbers are when we decide to start crunching our numbers. A couple different ways we can do that. For the sake of time, I will just use the implied volatility number over here. I will add it to 168 and subtract it. So, right, so that's 168.5 plus 9.5. We'll do it that way. Equals. So that will be a 178. We talking. We got to get above 178, which will be 180 up here. This is an 85% probability out the money. This is a 2.5 spread right now. Now I didn't look to see does it have earnings? I didn't see the announcement. I didn't see it on the chart if it had earnings or not, but that's the one that we will. And when I say the chart, I'm referring to inside of sometimes inside of Thinkorswim, you'll see little announcements about different things, but let's see, just to check. Oh, there it is. Earnings is 522. What made me suspect there might be earnings is because I don't recall any too many of the makeup, that consumer discretionary being this high when it comes to the spread. So but about 0.30, so I'm at a call. This is a call credit spread. So I'm trying to be above the action. It's going to try to push up, of course, but That's where we're at. We're up here. Okay. And what I will typically do is sometimes I'll even I'll even go a little bit higher, but this area right here, 84% probability out the money. Got to make sure that your theoretical is out the money if you decide to do that column. Okay. What I do, I build my legs. So I go by, I click on the bid here for the sell leg, and then I'm here holding control, and I click on the ask for the to buy leg. That's one higher. Everybody does it differently. The other way to do it is to do once you decide on which one you want. So you can also do I would do 182 still. So you can also go. This is what it looks like on the single, right? Because I got both on here. So this is what it looks like single. And so we got our number that we want. We got 180. That's the way we want to roll with it. And then you can switch this to, whoops. Looking for my spread right here. And you can switch that to vertical up there. And now you can go 180, 182, 182.5, whichever one works for you. Let's go with this one. 32. 2.5 spread right here. Right? You can put that in if you so choose, which I will. Since we're on live, you might as well do it. And then I'll put YouTube morning. And then hit send. So if you wanted to do a call credit spread, because price is heading down, that is why call credit spread was the one I chose. Obviously here it's pushing off of this. Okay. So, depending on how you trade it, how often you trade it, you can wait a little bit to see what it'll do. Possible iron condor for this week. Who knows? For all we know, this might push up and keep coming up through here, right? But that's how I would arrive at the number that I would use. So, okay. Questions, comments? I know our listener got something to say on that one, right? B. Spencer. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the jungle. We got Exxon. I see Exxon and I see MGM. Exxon, that's right. I put in an order for Exxon that did not get picked up. I'm not saying it like I'm mad at them for not picking it up, but I kind of was looking forward to that trade being a successful one. All right. Top down. And again, we do the top down analysis to get an idea. I do it to get an idea of the prices when I'm looking at them later. So I can really see like, oh, it's going to hit a turn here. We do have a resource, all right, that you may be interested in. I would highly encourage you to take a look-see at it. It is a charting webinar. It's called Start with the Chart. Start with the chart. Our entire existence in this atmosphere is based on price action, and knowing and understanding what's going on with the chart is vital. What I will say, that's a benefit of taking that, taking the training. It's going to teach, it teaches you about the charts, but also, once you learn charts and learn how to chart, it doesn't matter if you're looking at stocks or whatever you're looking at that's chartable. You'll be able to see the buyer zone, seller zone, so it's valuable from that aspect. There's a lot of people that go from stocks to Forex, for example. So on the monthly chart, this is in the seller zone, trying to break through there. And this is a stronger seller zone because twice it has been up here. This is a retest on the monthly chart. Okay, so this is coming as a retest. There is a formation that looks like this. And for our Telegram posse, I want to say Telegram posse. Every time I say the word posse now, I only can think of Arsenio Hall. It like that word is associated with him in my mind till the day I die. But anyway, this pole is running from north to south, and it is bouncing this way. There's one called a triple top, which is a pattern of reversal. So it may, come up in here, bounce, 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 and then bounce out in bearish reversal and come back down this way. Obviously, it could, also break through here and just, keep going. But that's what I first noticed was this pattern on the monthly. All right. Then let's take a look at weekly. See what's going down. Definitely strong. I do not see any type of so it really, what I see here just it has a little bit more to go before it breaks through this high point. So there's not a seller's zone above this. You have to switch it to the Fibonacci, in my opinion, in order to go there. I look at these as mostly momentum candles. One way that we look to see if they are momentum candles or not is to switch it to a line chart. I just went to style, chart type, and line. And what that does, it just smooths out. It kind of basically you can think of it as it takes out the wicks really, and it just smooths all the numbers. Every time I see this, I think it just without the wicks. And most of the time, people might look for a chair, like literally is it where's the place that I can sit down? And this would be it right here on this chart. Just was reclining a little bit, but it's a little bit of an area. But that's the closest thing that I see on the weekly to that, and it ends up being in this area right here. The most important thing though is that this line is already here, the blue line. So this is kind of showing that monthly point is a strong point right there. All right, and let's switch to daily and see what daily is saying. Daily trying to move on up. I hear you. Now I would consider this a bit of a cheer formation, leg in, two in the base, leg out, with the gap above it. Now I do have my accountability partner. Now she might not put one in the base. She probably will put two in the base. Leg in, two in the base, leg out. And for some of us, I believe this one is called a Morning Star. I think that's what that one is called. Morning Star. When you have it looks like it could be getting ready to form that leg in. This is in the seller zone. There's the leg in, which was an up candle. That middle candle is smaller. And then the next leg out obviously could be up or down, but that setup right here kind of favors one where it might come back down. So, but there's no seller zone right now, but this is what I'll put in as a buyer zone on next time. But what I can say is it does not have that far to go. I guess technically we could still, since it hasn't gone through here totally. Right? So since there's no top, but there is a buffer, this would be considered a one revisit from this sell zone. The word that comes to mind is froggy. So if you're feeling froggy, call credit spread. Call credit spread.
If you're feeling froggy, jump, baby. Just jump.
I can assure y'all, I'm laughing because she know I am not the froggy one.
He is not Kermit. He is not
Really,
Kermit.
I didn't even like Kermit growing up. I put up with him, but I had an attitude with Kermit the Frog when I was a kid. So
Kermit is my dude.
yeah, I know. I ain't hate him, but I just didn't appreciate the way he was dissing Miss Piggy like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, dude, like she's sweating him. Oh, Kermit, and this dude's acting like she talking.
No, you did say she was sweating him.
Like, you know how hard it is to find an overprotective big girl that know karate, and it's you sit there talking about some. No, it ain't easy being green. What? She trying to bring you cash anyway.
Oh my goodness, not an overprotective big girl. Are you serious though?
Category to fill. And this dude had it in spades. There wasn't nobody even looking at him like that, but she was like,
Oh my goodness.
eyes off my frog,
Oh my goodness.
underappreciated.
Well,
That's all I'm saying.
yeah,
120,
unappreciated.
120.9. So I would 21 in this situation. It would be either 121 or 122. If it's Arlissa, it's probably 121. If it's Jamie, it's probably 122. Right? And so same deal. Right now, this is on the single version. Um, and but this is how Arlissa does it with the 121. 13, right? 13 called credit spread. Now, this is what we'll do. Because I'm already here. So I'll just see YouTube AM. Taking these trades. Now, me personally, I am averse to being up here while it is going this direction. But somebody in the trading ecosystem, I'm not saying a specific trading ecosystem, I'm saying just the general, trading world, would say, well, the premiums are going to be better, especially if it's going to turn around up here, right? So you'll be above it. I don't deny that. My problem has been I get up here and then this will look like it's going to go this way, and then it will give me a gift, and the gift is when it hands me my ass, and next thing you know, it's through my strike.
Well, see, I think to caveat that when you're coming into that zone, you need to see something that's going to give you reason to believe it's going to turn around. So we can't always trust zones to automatically hold because we do see that zones get gone through. So you do want to see something maybe on a shorter time frame that gives you like a quick retest or something, letting you know that it is turning in that a candle or something needs to give you some indication that it is going to try to pull back at the zone.
Yeah, I usually go for the 30, the 15, really probably 1 hour 30 and 15, but definitely I would say the hour and the 30 to look for a retest. So, for me, it's like, well, if it's bouncing off of that joker 3 or 4 times, we should be good. And then Powell steps in and says something. Next thing you know, I can't get Ukraine the war to drop the market no more. That's old, so that ain't gonna happen. So so I'm just saying all that to say, because it's up here, I'm usually trying to get where it's safe, which is gonna be probably down here. So even though y'all might be brave, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all that I will be chicken in this situation. So I'm usually gonna go down. I usually just go
You're
down.
gonna be Chick-fil-A chicken?
Yes, ma'am. You know it. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. So the
Oh my goodness.
it's not gonna be as juicy. Um, but I like safe. So I will be going to 117, 116, 117, and do the same thing. YouTube AM. And that's this would be an iron condor. Both of these both the trades placed today have been iron condors, I think. No, I think the other one was just a call credit spread, but I like iron condors the most out of everything that I trade. Iron condors on the credit spread is what I like to do. Vertical credit spread. All right. So all right. She said that gift be ugly becomes a full breach. Indeed. 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 Lady T said me too. Start with the chart. Our managers laughing. Thank y'all. I'm glad y'all understand how I feel about current. I don't hate him. Don't be saying I hate him. I don't hate the guy, but definitely wasted a good opportunity. That chick was international. She coming up in there. I mean, boss, whole time. Running the show from Jump Street. Some people just don't recognize what they got, Yeah, that was my first little crush. I said it. Yeah, I said it.
You had a crush on Miss
I
Piggy?
had one. And what? Yeah. It wasn't. It
That
wasn't. Listen, it wasn't difficult to do at all because I was. She was in my personality range. I went to church.
okay.
I went to
Okay.
church, and it was mostly big girls at the church, right? So it wasn't like, oh, I'm like, she was just as sassy as they was, and so I'm like, oh, she just,
All she needed to do was be able to sing. Miss Piggy could sing though, right? So,
yeah,
because usually the big girls can sing.
yeah. I'm telling you, man. My personality profile is normally when even no matter how I end up meeting the female, I will usually ask them, what is your creative outlet? And then I wait for them to tell them, and I said, you also sing, right? And they be like, how you know? I know what pulls into my element. That's Miss Piggy was up in there crooning.
Crooning.
She wasn't past me not a gentle savior, but she was doing what she could.
Oh my God, she was doing what she do.
Yeah.
So funny.
I see. So on the monthly chart, on the only reason why I'm charting GM is because it said Exxon, and then MGM. My bad. MGM. I saw the GM. Last time somebody was saying good morning, and I thought they were saying that they wanted to stock General Motors started. So I was saying, well, since I see GM second, then I'm assuming they're not saying good morning. All right. We're gonna do this one, and then we're gonna switch back to SPX, and then Alyssa's gonna do her thing with the announcements, and then we will handle the benediction. You understand? Until we meet again. Old school Jimmy Swagger. Y'all know nothing about that. Old school Jimmy Swagger. And I mean old school. Them cats was sound like they was straight up Frank Sinatra cousins when they were singing. All right. Monthly chart, MGM. It is in between zones. You can really say this is a cheer formation, I think. Two in the base, leg out. It's 50-50 with those middle candles because I don't like for the wicks to be that long, but obviously there was some pressure on both sides. But be that as it may, it has been a seller zone before. It's trying to break through a recent one, but here's a pretty strong buyer zone right here. Okay. I think this might be referred to as a falling three methods. I think they might call it that. I feel like it like two when there's two or three in there, something. But anyway, weekly, that's that. Very strong. If you want to use this leg out right here, you would have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the base right there. Right? You could do it that way, have that as a leg out. Either way, I've seen it done both ways, but the one with the less risk is going to be there. And then the seller zone is up here. So 49.51, $3 away from now is where the start of that line would be on the weekly. All right, but it has broken past this this most recent high. Then on the daily, all right, we got this going. Clear seller zone with a gap right there. Right there. Okay. And then so we got the gap here, the gap down, and then of course, since this formed a gap in the past right here, what really happened is it kind of just gave us a buyer zone. It definitely gave us resistance. I'm sorry, gave us support. Definitely gave us support. That's one way to look at that. Some people will put all of these in a base and have a have a serious cheer formation. Just looks more like a massage chair with that little peak right there. Your legs kind of go up over it like that. But if you want to put all of those in the base, that's fine. It's all its own. But
What kind of massages have you had where the where you
booty would go right here, right? And then your legs will be laying on the thing, right? But now I'm talking about like a massage chair, like a
like a sit-in chair.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay.
All right, not a person. Because was you assuming I was saying like I'm sitting in somebody's lap and they massaging me or something?
No, I think like when I was my mind went to massage table, even though you did say
Oh,
chair.
this table. I always forget about the table.
Yeah.
I would never feel comfortable enough to get on nobody's table.
Really?
Man, no, I've been fat my whole life. I ain't trying to have type of stuff that I can, climb it up.
Massage tables are designed for big people too.
Yeah, I don't feel it in my spirit at all. But I do understand they have a place. But when I had to do a chiropractic thing and lay,
Yeah.
I was like, never again.
What?
Never again. You will never have me nervous that I'm finna fall through something like that.
You're not gonna fall through. It's designed for people. Oh my goodness. Okay.
But I also know what it sounds like when something cracking under pressure.
Under pressure.
I mean, on the wicker basket. Talk about how does that feel? It feels scary. So
under pressure.
What's wrong with you?
You're silly.
Leg in, base, leg out. His tiny leg in, base, leg out. That's what I got for MGM. So again, this is sitting in the middle here. The zone. I don't see why it wouldn't be a iron condor opportunity. Call credit since it's pushing up. We'll go with call credit spread to see what it's talking about. So this would be 46.7 plus 1.25, right? So that's 47.9 at the top. So you can go 48. And honestly, it's not going to be a lot of premiums on this one. This is a 2 spread. MGM must have. This is another one that must be having something happen. Earnings, because that's you'll see the spread will start widening. Let me see. I don't see anything, so they don't have any announcements. I don't remember them having a 2.5 spread though. So okay, but anyway, we'll do.
Where do you see 2.5?
I always mess that up. I'm sorry. A 0.5 spread.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I was seeing, I don't know what I was seeing. I ain't gonna lie. 5 always throws me off with them. Thank you for catching that. Let's go with, even if you do 48, it's still not gonna 7.9. So, yeah, it's not gonna be a lot of premiums, is the point. One thing you could do is a one spread and go 48 to 49 is one thing you could do. Only 7 cents. Obviously, you can increase that. You know, it may or may not pick up. But just do it that way. All right. Then do the same thing going in reverse. 45.5. So this is no premiums here. 45.5, they have an 83% out the money at a 16 delta. But pennies on the dollar. It might cost you about, depending on who you trade through, that would be getting ate up in your fees. But to be iron condor consistent for today, they'll do that. So that's where I would see that. There's not a lot of movement in MGM right now. MGM has the ATR is $1.03. So you're not gonna get a whole lot of movement on the $1.03, which technically it wouldn't be bad if it's not doing a lot of moving. That also means that that might increase your chances of it expiring worthless if it ain't bouncing around, right? At least it won't go smashing through your strike unless you're too close. All right. So SPX and then back on the grind. So this is pushing up. It is well into our opening bell. This has definitely pushed up. Yeah. So right about now would be the time where somebody would probably want to take a look at that. It has more than broken out. Let me just say it that way. So one thing that can be done, if you were doing a breakout, you will be doing a PCS somewhere down here under it, since it has broken out. And depending on what you're doing, you may want to, when I say what you're doing, it could be, some people do a PDT. Some people just try to get safe enough and where they can be in the trade. And either way, you want to pick something where for the day it should be safe for the day. That's really the bottom line, what you want to do. But so we got 52.24 minus 17. So let's do that. 52.24. Whoops. 52.24 minus 17. And actually, I usually round it up to be on the safe side. So 52.06. You got to get under 52.06. You got 52.05. And you got 5,200. Based on our discussion, we already know who would take what number, right? 20 delta. 20 delta. So Alyssa is going to go with this one, 5205, 5200, 75 cents there. And the chicken, which would be me, we gonna step it on back a little bit and go here. And yeah, I'm fine with that. I'll take it. I'll take 4.5. And then later on in the day, depending on what it's doing, I'll be more than happy to put a cap on it and have an iron conduit. All right. So I'll just wait that out. Oh, it picked up. Look at there. Wish you did that live. Don't do that live. All right. So we are well out. Then I'll wait it out to see what's gonna happen. But we definitely have that push out. So we got that going for us. Okie dokie. Alyssa Pickleton, you are up, ma'am.
Well, it's been an adventurous morning already. Got a lot going on. SPY does seem to be trying to push up. SPY, SPX, all those dudes are seeming to push up. Um, we talked about having our kickoff the other day, which was Monday. You can still get into the kickoff. We actually will have our first live trading session. Well, trading is not really trading, training, live training session on Thursday evening at 8 o'clock. So if you still want to join in with this particular cohort, you're welcome to do so. Come on over to HTTP educator. I think I'm typing too fast, so I'm hitting the wrong keys. Educator2trader.com and click on the icon for the 6 weeks of live coaching, and you can go ahead and join us. And you get put into the Telegram group, so that way you'll have time to do your prep work for tomorrow. We'll get back together. We've got great plans coming up. Tonight, we will not have our Wednesday call. Our Wednesday night calls, just for the membership people, the Wednesday night calls have moved to Thursday. They moved to Thursday. That's our Thursday call. Okay, so that's where we'll do that. This coming weekend, though, in the membership, we do have our usual monthly coaching calls. We got a few different ideas. I need to look through them again to see which one of those I actually want to run with, but we did have some suggestions. And listen, anytime you all you think you want a video on something or want me to teach on something, you're feel free to send me a message or put something in the comments or in our Telegram or wherever. So that way that way I'll make videos. I actually hadn't made too many, like I haven't made many videos recently that are um non live videos. I've not done too many videos. I need to get back in the rhythm. Now that my life has kind of settled a bit, I can get back into the rhythm. So I think that's that. Yeah, I think that's that. Today's Wednesday. So Wednesday's a great day to enter credit spreads. You want to get into some credit spreads that are going to expire on Friday. Today's a great day for that. We still have our list. Definitely always refer back to that list. What you can also do is go to the Peakbot list. Use peakbot.com. You can use them for their watch list all the time. You don't have to, I mean, just our list is great, which our list was originally derived from that list, but they update that list throughout the trading day. So if you are looking to see what might be some good put credit spreads that you might want to investigate, you can go see what is showing up on the Peakbot watch list that's bullish. That's different than what's happening over at bar chart. We've always used bar chart for our watch list or whatever for the lists that are coming up. But the one in Peakbot actually does put things in the bullish, bearish, neutral categories. That kind of could help you right there. You may be able to go into use peakbot.com, go to the watch list and look on the different groups. If you want low risk, medium risk, of course, there's a high risk area as well. You might be able to find something in there that floats your boat, and you can run it. You can run it. All righty. All righty. Back to you, Jamie.
You good? That's it? All right. Are you did I didn't hear you talk about the Peakbot challenge.
I didn't, because that all we're gonna do. I mean, you had to put in your stuff on Monday, and then they'll update us as we go. There's nothing really to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Alrighty. Um, let's get it back cracking and hit this benediction.
I think the link says watch lists. It's got an S on the end of it, so I'm going to bring it to the chat to make sure that we can get to the right place. It's watch lists.
For
Lists for Peakbot.
oh, got it. Okay. I am noticing in SPX that it did turn around, and there's actually a this is an area where it's turned around before in terms of like seller zone, or this used to be this may be resistance coming up here, so that's something to watch out for. This area right here is where it turned around, so that could be resistance for it happening as well. So we are well within the time frame. All right, no more tickers do I see. You guys are awesome. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. Truly appreciate it. And we're gonna mosey on over. Laughing at Smart. Uh, mosey on over. That's what it felt like. I heard that like popping and stuff on the wall. We ain't doing that. Okay, switch on over here to our. I didn't say that. So, ETT Daily Declaration. By faith, I am a successful trader. I'm a wise, knowledgeable trader. I make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolio. Money likes me. Dinero me encanta. Because money is comfortable around me, it is drawn to me. ETT Daily Prayer. Lord, give us wisdom and knowledge for our trades today. Help us to make smart and lucrative decisions for our portfolios. Okie dokie. The VIX is currently still, actually, it's dropped, started dropping 0.41%. I mean, we did see a little bit of a turnaround on SPX. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 0.21%. S&P 500 is up 0.31%. NASDAQ is up 0.41%. And Russell 2K is up 0.30%. Okay? Okay. You guys, we appreciate you coming to hang out with us. And two things we always try to do in this community: stay green and get this money. You understand? Trade with your head on the swivel. We got a lot of stuff popping off today, pretty much throughout the morning and beginning of the afternoon. Okay, so you all have a wonderful day. We have other videos in our YouTube warehouse, our digital warehouse. So please go through and check out what's there. Okay, great content. You all have a good day, and we will see you in the market, in Telegram, or on tomorrow. Have a good one.
Bye, everyone. Goodbye.